Hello, Oracles! Well, I know Tesla was technically red today, but we got the proxy and we got the news of a 3-to-1 split coming, so we put on the green. Because why not when you're going to get a 3-to-1 split? So let's go into some details about this. Many of us were thinking 20-to-1, 10-to-1, 5-to-1 because it was down. Looks like it is going to be a 3-to-1 split. So what Tesla is looking for is currently right now they have 2 billion shares outstanding. They're looking to increase that by 4 billion up to 6 billion, which will then be a 3-to-1 split and bring us back to 2 billion. The reasons behind this are ones that we have talked about in the past. And Farzad, if you watch his channel, he's the one who brought up initially a great reason, which is for the employees. And that was the number one reason that they had brought this up, was the fact that since their first split, the stock has been up 43.5%, and a lot of their employees, because every single one of their employees has the ability to have equity in the company. And so they have all done very well because of that. But because the company is continuing to grow, they want to make sure that all of the new employees that they're bringing on also have the ability to take advantage of these opportunities. And so with that, bringing the stock price down to a more reasonable level for them is exactly what they're trying to do. And obviously with Berlin and Austin just coming online, there's a lot of new employees that have not had an opportunity to take advantage of this stock, so bringing it down to a lower level will be much more beneficial to them. So this is great news. The other reason that they had brought it up was another thing that we had spoken about on here was many retail investors would love to get into the stock, but the price is too high for them. Now here in the US, we have the ability to trade fractionally. So I put in $15 every day and then buy little bits extra here and there as the stock pulls back. Many other countries in the world do not have the ability to buy fractionally. So by bringing the stock price down to this lower level, gives them the ability to now have more retail investors getting involved in the stock. So again, the two main reasons that they're doing this, for their employees and for retail investors. And there is a little extra note that is put in there that by doing this, it's also going to deter, larger investors, big money, from coming here and just trying to buy the whole thing out. So this is another reason for them to do this. So 3 great reasons. So this is awesome for us. And, it just shows that their focus is on their employees and retail investors and growing the company. And so now we go to a vote where every single shareholder, which is pretty much every single one of us on here, will be able to vote on the issuance of these shares. So it has been voted on and approved by the board. Now shareholders need to vote on it. So on August 4th, when the vote comes up, this is your opportunity to vote. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the comments if you are going to vote yes or no for this split, but I'm pretty sure you're all going to say yes. So now, why did they go with a 3-to-1? Don't know. I don't know if there's any specific reasons behind it. Chances are it's because the market is so depressed right now. We had the Google and Amazon doing 20-to-1s, but they were pushing over $2,000 for their stock price, and even they were coming down along the way. So part of me wonders if Tesla was kind of waiting it out to see how the economy was going to do, maybe how Amazon was going to trade around their split. And and maybe today just having to be the ironic day of, the CPI data coming out. Part of me wonders, and I don't even know if this is true, this is just a thought inside my head, wondering if maybe they had a couple plans built up. Maybe they had a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, and a 10-to-1, all kind of planned out, and just in case, seeing as how we were going to trade would determine which one they were going to release. But again, I don't know when the board voted on this, so it's not like the board voted on it last night and they released it today. The board may have voted on it a month ago. Again, I don't know, but chances are it's because the whole market is the way it is. That's why they opted to go with a 3-to-1 split. And now when they split last time in 2020, they announced it at the beginning of August and then split at the end of August. And during that run, they ran up over 80%. Now granted, at that time, there was quantitative easing with nearly 0% interest rates. This time around, we're in the complete opposite end of the spectrum. So going with a 3-to-1, I don't think we're going to get an over 80% run up into this split. If we do, that's amazing, but I highly doubt it just because of the entire macro environment that we are in. We are in the opposite place where we were the first time around. So looking at how Amazon did get a little run going into their split, we'll probably see a run going into this one, but I don't know how long it's going to be. Plus, at that point, it's also going to determine, where are we at in the macro environment scenario? Because we've got the CPI that came out today, which was not good at all. So that's why we saw the market go dark red. And with the CPI, we had a month-over-month miss. We came in at 1%. The expectations were 0.7%. We had a core month-over-month miss. We had 0.6% with an expectation of 0.5%. We had a year-over-year number. We were looking at 8.3%, and we came in at 8.6%. That is the highest since 1981. And then our core year-over-year number came in at 6%, and we had a goal of 5.9%. And then next week, we have the FOMC meeting, where it sounds like the whole entire market is saying, you gotta do a 75 basis point hike. We've gotta get inflation in control. So let's see what the Fed does, because the last thing we heard from the Fed was them saying that they need to do what the market wants. And the market initially wanted a 50 basis point hike, but after CPI data today, the market wants a 75 basis point hike. So let's see what they say, and then they're also probably going to give us some insight into what they're going to be planning for the July FOMC meeting. And then we've got the June CPI data coming out in the beginning of July. I believe that's July 13th. So we'll take a look at those 2 dates, see what's going on with the macro, and then we'll have the FOMC meeting at the end of July. So we'll have, I would say, a bit more clarity. Whether we actually do or not, I don't know, but at least we'll have some progress down as far as where are we going with inflation, where are we going with interest rates, because the next 2 months are going to be pretty pivotal. And then we'll have the annual meeting, so we'll get to vote on it. So maybe we'll have a better macro environment to allow for a little bit more of a run-up, but we will still be in a quantitative tightening scenario. We are still going to be in a interest rate hike scenario, so I would not expect an 80% run-up at all, but we'll probably get a little bit of a run-up. We'll see when we get to that time. But the whole entire hilarious irony behind all of this is they did a 3-to-1 split, and the stock price today ended at $696.69, a perfectly divisible by 3 number on the day they're announcing a 3-to-1 split. Like, if you're looking for signs of any sort, if you're into that kind of thing, like, you can't get any more perfect than that. So based on today's prices, a 3-to-1 split will bring it down to 232. So this tells me that I think their eyeball price is probably around that $250 mark for where they feel comfortable and is right for the stock price to be. Obviously, we know that a split does not change the valuation of the company whatsoever. All it does is change the price of the stock. That is it. So, looking at this, it seems like that's probably the level that they're looking at, is around that $250 level. And who knows what the price is going to be like when we actually get to that point. Inflation being where it is, we could have a bit more red next week leading up to FOMC because of the uncertainty and not knowing what the Fed's going to do. Last we knew it was going to be a 50 basis point hike, and if they don't do that, the market may go more red after that. We don't know. We've seen some massive swings this year. When you're in a bear market like we are, it's just what happens. And, looking at Elon's comment about this super bad feeling about the economy, by doing a 3-to-1 split and keeping the stock price over $200, if we do get to a place where we pull back even further in the future, maybe we keep on dipping, maybe we don't get inflation in line, whatever it is, whatever this bad feeling that Elon has, I'm sure weighed a little bit into this decision, and perhaps keeping the stock price higher allows it, to get pulled back a little bit more if that is what's going to happen by the end of the year. And then because they only did a 3-to-1 split, when we do recover and come out of this, that means that we may see another split even sooner. Previously, I had predicted that we would see 4 more splits on top of the one that we already had. We would see 4 more splits over the next decade. If we had gotten a 20-to-1, that probably wouldn't have happened because you have so many shares out there. It would take so much longer. You've got to do the math on it because With a 5-to-1 split already, the stock price right now is basically at $3,500 from where it started. And so even with a 3-to-1 split, getting back to $1,000 in the share price would mean realistically that's like a $15,000 initial share price for the stock. So if we did a 20-to-1, it would take forever to get back to $1,000 realistically, unless Optimus and Energy and everything just take off and explode over the next 10 years. It would take realistically a while to get there. So even with a 3-to-1 split, trying to get back to $1,000 is going to take some time. And unless the Tesla ends up doing what, a lot of other companies do, where they start to do share buybacks, which then brings the price up, and then kind of reverse course and then do another split. Many companies like Apple do that. So if that's a way that they're going to play it, we might see it sooner, but it already sounds like, Elon has said that that's not a route that they want to go. But Leo Koguan, who is one of the top shareholders for Tesla, had suggested that to boost the stock price back up. So maybe this will be a little back pocket thing that they use in the future just in case post-split the stock price does come further down due to the macro environment. Maybe they will do a little bit of a buyback to boost the stock price a little bit higher. Again, just a possibility, don't know if it's actually going to happen. Again, lots to happen in the future. What we know about now is the 3-to-1 split. Very exciting, and we'll probably end up seeing a split sooner than later because we only did a 3-to-1 versus a 5 or 10 or 20-to-1 split. And as of the time of this recording, after hours, Tesla is up 1% to back over $700. And I did add a little bit today at 701 and 685. So, we're pushing up a little bit, but we know the macro is still heavy. Doesn't matter what company you are, doesn't matter what news you announce. Most likely, chances are, whatever you have that's positive is going to be short-lived. So, as Slim had mentioned in the comments as we were discussing the split before I was able to jump on here, this summer is a great time to buy. If you're going to be looking for some summertime lows, if these times right now we start pulling back a little further, these are going to be the times I add. Some of you are, arguing that maybe we're going to see an even further pullback towards Q4. If that's the case, that'll be post-split, more buying opportunities, so I'll be able to jump in to get even more at that point. And this just goes back to right now is the time to accumulate as many shares as possible wisely. Now again, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you guys what you should or shouldn't do with your own portfolio. Many of you out there have great strategies for yourself anyway, which is awesome. So for me, I'm just going to continue playing it the way I have been, and I'll dollar cost average, and I should have no problems getting to my goal of 10 shares by the time we get to this split. And again, we don't know the official date for the split yet, but if they do it based on the way they did it in 2020, we'll probably end up seeing it by the end of August. And as Farzad had mentioned in his video a while back, they usually do, I think it's between September and October, they do that window of time for the employees to be able to buy their shares. And if the reason they're doing the split is for the employees, there's a strong possibility that they're going to be doing it around the same time frame so that their employees will be able to take advantage of this during the next window. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about the 3-to-1 split? Are you excited? Are you disappointed because you wanted it to be higher? Let me know your thoughts in the comments because, it's awesome to see the split, but I know that a lot of us thought it was going to be a much bigger split than it is. So either way, let me know your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. If you'd like to join us over on Discord, we do have a channel there. That link is in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, I am on Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.